Good morning, everybody. It's going to rain really bad in Trenton, but I'm here under the tent. So if you can get here soon, you can hang out under the tent with me and do some dabs. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Thursday. It's Trenton Day. It's Protest for Home Grow Day. The signs are up. The home grow signs are up. Politicians will be walking past here because they are in session today. There may not be many stoners out here, but there's no shortage of politicians. Hope to grab a few ears today as they come in from the rain. So if you got some weed, you can join me. Smoke them if you got them. Got a tray? I'm going to twist up right now. Actually, I'm not going to twist up. I'm going to do a dab. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to everybody at the 420 Expo who hooked us up with dabs and weed. And man, what an amazing experience. I can't take any calls right now. If anyone can hear me, I'm trying to get it on for Tuesday here. It's a washout today. It's rain today, so we're gonna try to come back here on Tuesday. I'm gonna try to get a permit for Tuesday. I guess I'll go back in a few minutes. They were kind of like, "Oh yeah, well, just call us and we'll change it for you." I'm like, "Can I get it now? Can I get the permit now? I kind of want to know if it's available." "Oh yeah, call us later." Can you tell me now? Can I know now? Because I might leave because it's raining. It's gonna pour. Look at this weather. I mean, look at this. Look at the sky. It's about to open up and starting to drizzle. Even the workers are slowing down. It's just nuts. It's actually really nice though. It's actually very windy and mild right now. It's pretty cool. What's going on? Hi, Marina. See, Marina. Is this Marina? Or is that Sean Arena? Wait a minute. It's C Marina 1013. Or is it S? Yeah, Marina. Or is it C Mar Ina? Whoever you are, nice to see you. Get out your dabs, smoke them if you got them, roll them if you don't. Get that cannabis smoke down your throat. It's time to get high, it's time to get loose. It's a drug war, but I'm calling a truce. My man was doing that at the 420 Expo. He had the best voice, and he was doing stuff like that. Like this, it was so cool. It's me. No, it's me. No, it's me. What does that mean? No, it's me. It's me. It's me. Who is this? It's me. Yay! Yay! Another stoner's about to join me. Yay! Ah! Another crazy stoner who's not afraid of the rain. Donuts and everything. Oh my goodness.
I've never splurged.
Oh my God, he got coffee! Ah, yes! You're dead. Yes, thank you, brother.
Hey, good to see you, man.
See you, man.
Hey, sorry about that comment about Ricky. I just love the guy so much. I'm meeting something.
Oh,
I think
Ricky.
Sunday is going to happen.
I know. We're so blessed to just meet him for 5 minutes.
He's such a great guy. I mean, I would love to talk to him for 10 hours, you know?
Yeah, he's really chill, man. We kind of, I don't know if we freaked him out when we were playing golf, because we were like, not playing golf, we were just driving around the course like idiots, smoking blunts, blocking everybody from playing.
Where was that at?
At the Forest Gate. We were invited to Forest Gate. They had some cannabis advisory group meetings.
Cool.
And that's where Ricky goes to these, I guess. This is his thing.
I thought he showed up at the expo thing.
No, that was a different group. Like
This
last
weekend, though? Again, you saw them?
Monday.
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 I had a good weekend. It was full of, I went down to, like, Brewery Town in Philadelphia.
And I had been at this Splintered Sunlight out at LNC the night before, and I like saw a bunch of the same people that it's just all new places I've never.
It's just
been
a herd
to.
that goes from place to place.
And I'm looking at the guy's artwork. I was like, I recognized his artwork before I recognized him. So
the cool kids herd together. That's what it is. We have to.
Yeah.
You have to herd together. And you got here before the downpour. It's gonna be a shit show for sure. Pretty sure. So welcome everybody. Let's see who's on here. Marina is here. Best Buys. The pregnancy and children parking is closer to the door than the handicap parking. At the Best Buys. Really? Well, at the 420 Expo, let me tell you, they had the disabled parking in the front of the building, all blocked off.
With the fencing and stuff?
With a rope. They roped the handicap parking off.
Velvet rope stuff?
I'm like, are you testing me? You
know you.
Like, you have disabled people coming here, and you're going to block off the handicap. So for the next one, in the kind of one next month, I told them, do not block off the handicap spots. They said, no, we're not going to do that. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll go down to that, what's the Red Bank one going on Thursday? I don't know what group it is, but...
The expo was a little mismanaged, I believe, because here's a little tidbit for you. Tommy Chong was supposed to speak at 7 o'clock on Saturday, and it never happened. It never happened. I wanted to get my autograph with him, and it wasn't Tommy Chong's fault. What happened was his plane, they changed the times, and his plane, which was a first-class ticket, left at 6, and he was scheduled to speak at 7. So whoever did the scheduling needed to do a few less dabs and figure out, okay, Tommy has to be out of here by a certain time. Let's do this. So I think they dropped the ball on that one. But otherwise, it was amazing because I thought it was awesome. I didn't get to meet Tommy, though. And that was my thing. I wanted to meet Tommy, and that was why we didn't meet Tommy. If anyone didn't meet him, that's why.
You got to hang a little in the Friday. Well, I was there on Friday a little bit, right, when he was there?
Yeah, it was fine. I didn't mind.
Hey, I can say it. I mean, I stood by the table, grabbed a picture real quick.
So selfie?
I met him.
While he's eating, whatever.
He was
picking his
signing
nose.
other people.
No, he was very gracious. But yeah, the scheduling, you got to work with the guy's schedule. When he's scheduled to leave at 6, you kind of got to get him before he leaves. And you should catch him on the plane. So I have some really good stuff here. I'm gonna do some dabs. I can't believe you got coffee. I'm so happy right now. So happy you have coffee. I don't even need sugar. I don't need milk. I just need coffee. Life is good with coffee. And cannabis.
I usually drink about a pot every morning myself. That's why I'm really talkative.
Woo woo! Oh, so good. Oh yeah.
Hot.
Nice and hot.
They actually ran out of coffee when I was there. Dunkin' Donuts ran out of coffee. I've never seen.
You cleaned them out. It's all right. All right, so there. Oh, we have a guest, Lou Rinaldi. Hello, Lou. Hold on. I'm going to add Lou. Hi, Lou. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. How's it going? Hello from Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. Right on, man. Right on. What's going on in Connecticut, man? You got issues up there, huh?
We sure do.
You got home grow yet or no? How about now?
We have home grown for medical patients.
You do?
Sorry, I'm getting an echo.
Hold on. No, I don't. We ran out of brochures at the expo, actually.
Okay. Are you all from New Jersey?
Yeah. We're sativacross.org. We're a 501c3 fighting for cannabis patients and for wheelchair access.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you fighting for home grow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. I'm a little busy today working on some stuff. I work for the NPR station in Philly.
Oh, right on.
Covering New Jersey, but home grow is definitely something that's on my list. To get to. So I'm actually going to take a picture of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
I'm Tennyson, by the way.
Tennyson?
Yes.
I'm lefty.
Lefty?
Nice to meet you, man.
Okay.
Yes,
like being left-handed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Tennyson.
I thought they did the Long Island hit this area.
What's that?
WYHY. Doesn't it the Long Island one?
So
right here's the line.
Yeah. This is kind of because I live in the area. Sometimes it's a little spotty.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
And they just trade stories anyway from station to station, I'd
Where are you
imagine.
from again?
I'm from Bayonne.
Bayonne. Okay.
I'm from
So
Hamilton.
Okay, so you would probably know WBGO.
WBGO, what's
That's
that? Oh, yes.
And yeah, so my reports air on there as well.
Okay.
As well as WNYC, which is in New York City.
NYC,
So you
yeah.
might get that as well. So yeah, I'll definitely reach out.
Do you have a card?
Actually.
Yeah, I could reach out. We were cleaned out over the weekend at the expo.
I'm sure.
It was amazing.
So you're from down
Thanks,
the road
man.
here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got a news report. See, you come out here in the rain, you think nobody's going to show up, you got a news reporter. Hello. So, yeah, don't give up. Take part. Take part no matter what. Take part. You never know what's going to happen in life. So Lou, tell me about Connecticut, man. I mean, at least you have home grow for patients. We don't even have that in Jersey. I mean,
Yeah. I'm going to do my best. I'm getting a little echo here. So we have home grow for patients up to 6 plants per patient. That's 3 mature, 3 immature. Has to be indoor, has to be restricted access so that only the patient has physical access, and a maximum of 12 plants per household, assuming you had more than 1 patient living in a single residence. As of July 1st of next year, every adult in the state can grow, which is the ticking clock, because Connecticut's just like Jersey, completely locked down by the MSOs. So they're acutely aware of that ticking clock, and they're really rushing to get the adult use market online here. But there's a dozen or more lawsuits currently in flight from equity joint venture applicants who got rejected. It's a mess. It's a total mess. The community is at each other's throats. We've been successfully divided by MSO lobbyists. It's a sad state of affairs here, but the important thing is to keep getting the messaging out. We try to do what we can in terms of getting exposure, freedom of information requests, working with local news media, investigative journalists. That's always the first 2 things I tell any advocate that wants some advice on how to get going and how to really start making a difference. Familiarize yourself with your state's Freedom of Information Commission and the related laws, and get friendly with an investigative journalist who's not afraid to speak truth to power. I think that's the way. Those are the 2 tools in the toolbox that never do me wrong, Oh, you're still muted there, bud.
it's tough to
There
find a
we
good
go.
journalist that's willing to do what their editor doesn't want them to do, because they have to listen to their editors.
That's
and they have
right.
an agenda.
That's right.
And the same thing with lawyers. You can't find a good lawyer that's an activist because they're part of the system and they answer to the judges. They answer to the system, and it's a sad state of affairs here in Jersey.
The thing with the attorneys up here is that they're all in bed with the MSOs at this point. And there's like the Chamber of Commerce type organization that's sprung up around this. And, they're working in lockstep with these attorneys. And these are firms that have a history of union busting and that kind of shit too. So it's bad here, man. And it goes all the way to the governor's house. I mean, this is how he wants it. So, I mean, it's another one of these Fall River, Massachusetts situations where if you actually want some corrective action to be taken, the FBI has got to come in over the top because it goes all the way to the top. So it's a tough spot. It's a real tough spot for patients. Every one of our 4 licensed producers is currently utilizing remediation, but they won't talk about it. And the dispensaries won't talk about it. They won't even acknowledge it. We have hard evidence of the labs involved in malfeasance and negligence that our attorney general won't even consider because, again, it goes all the way to the top. So patients are getting screwed here, left and right. And doesn't sound like things are going much better in Jersey. I just caught up with some of what's going on down there from the Young Jerks episode this week. They had Chris on. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. But he did a real good job of kind of relaying the patient/consumer perspective in Jersey and what's going on down there right now.
Yeah, it's Chris Goldstein. He's awesome.
Yeah, good guy. Learned a lot from him for sure.
He's super smart, and he's very tapped into what's going on here. And it's ridiculous. What we need here in Jersey is craft cannabis, and we're getting this corporate cannabis shoved down our throat. And what the people want is craft cannabis. What the people want is farmers markets where you can all go trade or sell your own cannabis and grow your own and show off your own craft cannabis. And we don't have that.
100%. Yeah. Sounds like that echo went away, so I don't think you need to do the muting anymore. I think you're good there. The craft cannabis angle, absolutely. That's why I'm involved with the National Craft Cannabis Coalition, which was instrumental in putting forth the SHIP Act as presented by Representative Jared Huffman out of Humboldt, California. We're trying to find a way that if you don't like your local regulated cannabis options, you can legally mail order from your favorite small craft producers.
Yes.
And that interstate commerce between consenting states, I think is, it's going to be triggered by federal descheduling. We want descheduling, not rescheduling, because we don't want more nationwide regulatory capture by big pharma like we have on the East Coast. So still trying, making moves, trying to get, rally the troops to the banner and get some of this stuff moving forward, because sitting on it, we're just going to get screwed. If we don't have a voice at the table at the federal level, we're just going to get steamrolled, the same way we did at the state level. So,
Yes.
Something's got to give at some point. It's not tenable.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for being out there in the rain today, bud. And look at you making connections, getting exposure. It doesn't matter whether it's rain, sleet, or snow. If you're getting the exposure and you've got the visibility out there, that's spreading the message. That's amplifying your signal. So kudos to you.
Sorry, I just got really high.
No, it's all good, man. Actually, it's a good idea.
I had to tell you something. Geez, I'm having a brain melt right now. I had a question for you about the cannabis in New Jersey, the seeds. When a dispensary gets a new strain, or when they open a new dispensary and they start with their new strains, has anybody ever seen the weed fairy, the seed stork? Because it comes magically, all of a sudden these clones and these seeds magically appear over state lines. How does that happen? Is it like a
real
drone?
Real bad. And it's even worse than that here, because not only do they co-opt genetics, but they don't give credit. They change the name, so you have no idea who was involved with the breeding. You have absolutely no idea. You get a pharmaceutical sounding fake strain name, and if you want to know what you're actually consuming, you got to go to a translation website where you put in the fake name and then you get the real name. And then only then, if you're so inclined, you can go on Seed Finder or something and, look up the strain name and see, who had a hand in the genetics. But it's a joke. Where are all these MSOs getting their genetics from? And because they're vertically integrated, yeah, you're right. They can move it across state lines. No problem at all. Shows up in all these different states, but we're not hearing about how it got there. Real head scratcher right there, bud.
Do they have patents on those strains that they grow?
I have yet to see intellectual property around that. I think they know it probably wouldn't hold up because, I don't think there's any kind of precedent for that at this point in the legal system. So I haven't seen any patents, but I have seen, I saw this thing come out from True Leave the other day that they came up with a new terpene of their own. I don't even remember the name, but it's stuff like this. It's this kind of like medicine show bullshit that goes on the MSO side. It's like they want to come off as these super educated, we know all there is to know about this. We have the best possible facilities, the best knowledge, the best growers, but they're so terrified of legacy growers. I pitched to them early on. I said, listen, let me get a group of about four or five legacy growers together. We'll come through the facility. We'll tour it. We'll do like an audit. You know what I mean? No disrespect. Just like, hey, you should probably do X, Y, and Z based on what we're seeing here. And of course it went nowhere because they don't want to hear it. They don't even want to acknowledge that the legacy community exists. In fact, they are going out of their way to create like dossiers on people to keep them out of the regulated market up here. Anybody that got rejected for an application, I saw the one that they have on me, actually. A state rep leaked it to me. They actually have like, here's who this is. Here's how we need to talk to them. Here's how to counter their talking points, all that kind of shit. Like they're set up for war. They are set up in a theater of war, and people don't realize this. They're not fucking around. You know, it's unbelievable. But patents by an MSO for anything genetics, like show me a reputable breeder who's employed by an MSO right now, because I'd love to talk to them. I'd love to have a conversation with that person. I love the Iron Maiden font too on the sign, on the banner there. Man, that's the shit. I love it. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're still muted, bud. Shit. Still on mute. Oh, it is pouring. It is pouring there. My goodness. If you can hear me, you're still muted, bud.
This is nothing new to us. We've done this before, and this is absolutely insane. It's been worse. We've seen it worse than this.
Yeah.
So we're not scared.
Yeah. So I heard you say you're from Bayonne, huh?
Yes.
Right on. Yeah, my brother-in-law used to be stationed at the Coast Guard base.
Oh, right on.
I'd go see him down there, check out the 9/11 memorial, all that.
Yeah, I do a lot of wheelchair activism in Bayonne, because in Bayonne you have a lot of places with 1 steps, 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
Even the police station has no access at night. So a lot of issues in Bayonne with wheelchair access. Actually, Hudson County's, Jersey City is bad, and Union City, even Trenton here is bad. As a matter of fact, if you're in a wheelchair, you can't get up on the State House lawn because you have that little curb there. You see that curb there?
Yep.
That curb
ridiculous.
Is a wall, so disabled people can't even join us up here. We had to bring a ramp so that disabled people could join us.
Good for you, man. That's a solid choice. The old construction in the Northeast is a real son of a bitch with accessibility stuff. I mean, we even had a dust up here. Someone was trying to put together a Connecticut cannabis competition, and they were struggling to find a suitable venue, you know, because cannabis, I don't know. And they finally got a spot. They got a skate shop in the southeast part of the state that wasn't fully accessible, and they got roasted for that. And I mean, the proper thing to do would have been, hey, you know, it would be real cool if we could make this more accessible. How do we go about doing that? How can we get that done so the whole event can be more inclusive? But it turned into this like takedown as a result of that. And there wasn't even any resistance. It was just like the default mode was go for the jugular. So that's a shame. I mean, that event is actually still happening. But it's just more indications of how they got us divided and coming at each other, which is a real bummer.
I saw that today. I see it today during in the chat. I'm just everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense for us to fight each other.
Yeah, it's real tough, and I gotta check myself a lot because I fall into the trap too. I'm not sitting here talking about it like I'm immune to it. I fall into the trap.
I jump right in. Shit show. I'll jump right in, and it's like,
yeah, I gotta fight that urge, man. I gotta fight that urge.
Because I hate ignorance. I see ignorance.
My mom's family's from Newark, and I spent a lot of time in like Lyndhurst, Rutherford growing up. That's where my grandparents were, and a lot of love for Jersey. I hope we can both get both of our states to a point where we feel a little bit better about things that are happening on all the fronts we're talking about here, on home grow, on MSO fuckery, on accessibility for patients and everybody, on credit being given for genetics, on release of nonviolent cannabis prisoners. I mean, the list goes on, but there's so many things that we all do have in common that we can build around regardless of our own state level issues that we have going on. So I'm hoping we can keep things moving in that direction. That's the hope there.
MSO fuckery. That's really a thing. It's actually a thing.
Oh, indeed it is.
Big time.
Indeed it is. I'm sure my face is on many a dartboard in these places. It's all good though, man. I'm glad we had some time to chat here and get introduced. And I think this is the kind of thing that we need more of. I think if people could talk to each other, it doesn't even have to be in person, but just like see the person and have like this kind of a good faith dialogue and exchange. I mean, that's what we need more of, man. But keep doing what you're doing out there. I salute you from here in Connecticut. Keep it going. We'll be in touch for sure.
Hold on, Lou. I got at the 420 Expo, Bongholio was an 8-foot purple bong. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
Yeah, he was interviewing a lot of people. He asked a lot of questions. I want to ask you a couple of questions that he was asking people because it was really good stuff. So one of his questions was, when was the first time that you got stoned?
I was probably about 16. I grew up, white suburban Connecticut. I think I was working at a hardware store at the time. And, we were friends with some kids from the next town over, and they had this party spot, blah, blah, blah. I think it's, that moon tower scene from Dazed and Confused. It's like a lot of people within a certain age bracket. I'm 44, born in 1977. So I think a lot of people in a certain age range, their first experience was somehow being in the wilderness away from prying eyes and just fumbling through it the best they could. I had one of those shitty metal pipes, and I had no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I've never even seen bud before, and it's like dark. The only light is from the lights from some dude's pickup and like a kerosene lantern. Not the ideal headspace and not the ideal surroundings. Maybe if it was a beautiful spot in the woods during the day and a little running brook nearby, something like that.
Yeah, right.
But all it did was like, I'm going in there paranoid as fuck already.
Right, now you're paranoid.
Looking over my shoulder, and then getting up isn't helping me because I feel my heart racing, and I'm like, oh god.
Oh no.
So yeah, not the best first impression, but it had to start somewhere, I guess, and that's for me. That's where it was.
Well, you're hiding from the police. You're hiding from your parents. You're hiding from basically everybody except the guy with the lighter.
True. And I'm hiding from those Bud Heavies that they drank, man. I don't need that.
Oh man. Yeah, the drunks too. You don't want to hang out with the drunks. They're trouble.
No, especially not the redneck drunks. Jesus Christ, they got into some shit. Oh man,
that's great. All right, next question was, what's your favorite munchie food?
Oh man, when I'm trying to be good and reasonably healthy, I'm a sucker for blue corn chips.
What is it?
Blue corn chips.
Corn chips.
Yeah, blue corn chips. I love those. If I don't care and I'm just gonna eat whatever, shit, I don't even want to drop it because then there's gonna be a run on them. But I'll do it. I'll do it just for you. There's not infused gummies. They're made like near South Bend, Indiana. I think they're called Albanese. ALBANESE. They're next level above anything. I mean, you're gonna find them anywhere. They have them at like a CVS, a Walgreens, a Duane Reade. But they're not like your typical gummy candy. They're on a whole nother level. And plus, you want to support the American made as much as possible, and they're made right there in Indiana. Good. They have a lot of different flavors, and the flavors are really spot on, amazing. The whole product line is great. I try to. They even do like factory seconds. Like if you want to make a big order from their website, they have some that came out of the molds kind of fucked up or whatever, but they don't want to just toss them. They'll sell them to you for cheap if you don't care what it looks like. So yeah, Albanese gummies, blue corn chips, two opposite ends of the spectrum, but.
Well, the blue corn chips, you eat them by themselves, or is there something light like lime on them, or salt, or you put salsa?
I like a corn and bean salsa, or like a mango salsa. I like something to dip with a little bit of heft and some flavor, and sometimes I want a little heat in there too. And that's the beauty of the blue corn chip as the platform. It's generally neutral in that regard. So whatever kind of, you want to get some cheese in there, go nuts. Do what you want to do, make it happen, do something nice for yourself and be happy.
I'm hungry.
Shit.
Wow. Oh, these questions make me hungry.
Yeah, they'll do that.
The next question is, if your friend calls you and he's depressed or he's anxious or he's down on his luck and he needs your advice, what's a piece of advice that you would give to somebody or to anybody, like a life gem that you would just give to anybody that would help them through their life, like a life gem that you know?
So I struggle with managing anxiety, and some of the things that I found helpful are some of the things that I try to share when I encounter somebody who's in a similar position. I try to visualize, like, we're in the moment right now. We can't really, we're reacting to what's happening to us in the present time. But I also try to visualize like the future state. Like, think about, how you always hear, a year from now, we're going to be laughing at this kind of thing. I don't try to trivialize what people are going through, but I do try to think about, picture yourself this time tomorrow. Where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing? What's going to be good about that moment in time that maybe isn't so great right now? So yeah, I recommend trying to think in less of a linear fashion when you're caught up in those moments, and you're not always in a calm situation where you can do that. And I recognize that, but if you are able to, it can be a helpful technique. The other thing I like to do is, if I feel like a panic attack rising or something starting to come on, I try to just remove myself from the situation and get out and get some kind of exercise outdoors, whether it's going for a hike, whether it's walking my dog, whether it's just dropping and doing a few push-ups in the driveway, like something to get my heart pumping for, cardiovascular reasons and not for neurological reasons, psychological reasons, I should say. I have found that focusing acutely on something like, physical exercise in those kind of moments can also be helpful. So kind of super specific based on the question, but hopefully, it resonates,
No, I would agree, because I like to keep busy. It keeps myself out of my own head.
Yeah.
I don't really get depressed or sad because I'm too busy to be depressed or sad.
Yeah. That's smart.
And
That's smart.
yeah, you just keep busy and keep stoned.
Yeah.
Keep it
it's
moving.
true.
Keep it moving. Because when I sit in my room and I start thinking about stuff and I'm in those four walls, it's not good. I got to get out. Not all the time, but sometimes it'll happen where you need to get out into nature and exercise, get your blood moving. We're just coming to the State House here. This is fun. This is an adventure. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who you're going to talk to. It was a great surprise hearing from you today, Lou. What is your name?
Definitely.
Your name isn't Lou on Instagram, is it?
No, it's if I get out of the way of my background here, CTMMP data.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the Instagram there. It's Connecticut Medical Marijuana Program data, because it did start out as just purely data analysis of their public data, and then it kind of morphed into advocacy after I stumbled upon the fuckery. What can I say? I'm wired that way. If I see something bad like that where good people are getting fucked around for money, it doesn't sit well with me. It's just the way I'm wired, man. Blame my old man, blame whoever you want. It's just, that's how it is for me anyway. Where is your StreamYard broadcasting out to? You got like a YouTube going, or?
Yeah, we're on YouTube,
Right
Sativa
on.
Cross on YouTube, and we're also on my Facebook timeline.
Right on. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. It was great chatting with you, and I wish you a great rest of the time out there. Still so much respect for you being out there in this kind of weather, man. Yeah, much respect and love and peace to you, and I hope your day only gets better from here, man.
Thanks, Lou. You too, brother.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Good one. God bless.
Peace.
Bye-bye. Cool, man.
Good topic.
Wow, good stuff right there. Okay, so if anyone else wants to call in, send me a DM. I'll send you the StreamYard link. I sent the StreamYard link out to some of the chats. Intel here live at State House. Okay. Bongholio, I don't know if he's working today or not. I'm trying to get in touch with Bongholio. We were going to deliver the magical butter machine. Hi, Tony. Hi, Seth. Seth, I'll be here for a while. Got nothing else to do. Just chill out here and smoke some weed, do some dabs. So, yeah, come on down.
I'm here for a couple hours.
Yeah, we're going to be, me and Kevin just hanging out, chilling. Come on down. We got coffee. Got donuts. You're killing my diet today, but that's all right.
I never eat
That's
those.
right. Sorry, no, I actually had one because I'm starving. And I'll have the coffee. No sugar though. Man, I just can't get over this weekend how amazing it was. Man, and we're going to be doing it again in 3 weeks at the Can of One Expo. So if you want to go to the expo, I have 25% off coupons. You put in SCO 2022. SCO, sativacross.org, SCO 2022, you get 25% off. And that goes for vendors too. That's a vendor code too. And if you want to vend, give me your DM, send me a DM. I'll put you in touch with Maureen, who will get you a table at a discount. And we're working on getting a smoking lounge out there because the smoking lounge was really cool. That was like amazing. So we want that again. All right, so hold on. Let me see who else is on here. Let's see. Wednesday is going to work. Wednesday is going to work. Good for you, Wednesday. Okay. Sammy, I think is Sammy, you showing up too? Cool. Let's see if I can get in touch with Mikey here. Bongholio, come save the day, Bongholio. We have to deliver a magical butter machine sometime today. No answer. All right, so smoke them if you got them, boys and girls. Roll them if you don't. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook. So seeing Poe run this show was amazing. He's so crazy. I love it. I love Poe. Great to see him. Bonaventure, thank you. Thanks to everyone who hooked me up. And I don't know if you realize it, but Bongholio was trying to sell weed at the expo. Yeah, he was trying to sell weed. It was kind of funny. I think that's the future. 8-foot purple bongs on the corner selling weed. I think we need that in our lives. We really do.
Automated weed machines, I think I saw they could put in like maybe Detroit or Chicago or something.
I saw that. What's going on in Chicago? They closed down the Walgreens. They closed down a lot of the big boxes out there. I never seen nothing like it. Let's see if we can give someone a call here.
I guess it's all similar to a food island, right?
Yeah. See if we can get an answer here. Jim Miller.
Secretary.
Is this Jim Miller's secretary?
Yes, it is. She does everything. There he is. Yeah, I couldn't get over there quick enough. I had to shout out a directive.
Hi, Jim. You're on the air. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing pretty good, but you know I keep the bar set low.
We're here at the State House, and we're loving life right now because it's actually stopped raining. So we're just sitting here smoking weed. Oh, wow, you got a big fat joint there.
You got to hold it in the middle there.
Oh, wow. All right. No, I want to get you on StreamYard. Can I send you a link for you could join us on StreamYard? It's like a Zoom. Yeah, let me try that. This way I can see you and we can smoke together. I'm going to send you the link right now on Facebook. Hold on. On Facebook, it's coming. You got to check your Facebook. Here it comes. Miller time. Jim Miller. Yeah, that's the only way I can send it to you. Here it comes. There's StreamYard. Oh, shit. No, that's not it. Fuck. Hold on, Jim. Oops, sorry. There's no children here. Oh. Damn it, Jim, I'm a shock jock. Oh, wait, no, I'm a doctor. Sorry. Wrong line. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor. I'm Jim, not a doctor. Damn it, I'm Jim Miller, not a doctor. That's... Wow. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't give a what? Because I am Jimmy. Yeah. Did you get my Facebook message? Man, it's tough podcasting without equipment. I don't know who can hear what. I just don't know if the microphone on the computer is here or here. I think it's here. So I think the sound is better here. I'm actually experimenting today. This is so funny. Jim, it's uncanny. The sun is coming out in Trenton right now. 100% chance of rain, and every single time we're here, the sun comes out. Why is that? Every time, Jim. Look, it was just... Look at the sun is out. The sun, look. It's out. Amazing. Well, I'll show you. Once you log in, I'll show you. It's pretty easy. I can hear you. This is great. Whatever name you would like to use. You could use any name you want, Jim. You could be Senator Cody. You could be Senator Dick. Senator Dick Cody. Just put an exclamation point then. Oh, I see you.
All right, good.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up.
Wow, this is
There we
weird.
are.
It's like a little Zoom meeting. What's up?
This is great.
Let me get a little more volume on here. Hold on.
Now I can definitely hear you.
Awesome. I feel like I'm there.
Virtual State House sesh. Here we are.
When did you start doing this? Is this a first or what?
Yeah, I started doing this because it works on my laptop very simply. And
So have you done this yet on the podcast?
Yeah, I like it.
Really? I didn't see the last couple. This is awesome. You're smarter than people give you credit for, I got to say.
Well, guess what? Scott Rudder's here. Scott Rudder's here. So we're gonna have a great conversation.
What's up, Scott?
Hey, Scott. Good morning, man.
How you been?
Good. How are you? Good
Doing
to
good.
see you.
Good seeing you. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
How you doing, Kevin? Kevin, how
We got Jim. We're doing a podcast, but we got Jim Miller here. I don't know if you can
Hey
see.
Jim, pass that over.
You know, I tried to get Lefty to do that at a Zoom meeting at the end, you know, like where I'd hand a joint, okay, that right handed over and he'd grab it, but didn't coordinate well enough. Usually I cut the video and mute it when I'm smoking on a Zoom meeting or like virtual court or something like that. You know, so now I don't really have to watch my my priorities so much. This is nice. So what's on your mind? What's on your mind today, Lefty? Scott? Oh, you guys asked me that? How's that work?
I want to know what's on Scott's mind today. How you doing? What are you doing here? Anything going on here today?
Well, nothing specific to cannabis necessarily with regard to the State House, although there's some interesting bills we need to be watching. But I'm super excited because the New Jersey Cannabis Business Association, we just hired a deputy executive director. Her name is Jenna Russo. So we got to get her out here on one of your podcasts on Thursdays. Today is her official first week, being here. And so for us, we finally have somebody that can like run day-to-day operations and all that kind of good stuff. So we're like super pumped up that she's here. And so that's why I'm here. So we're going to be here more often. I think a lot of us, who've just been so used to working from home or out of your home because of Zoom and the pandemic, and you don't have to travel as much. So I really haven't been to Trenton too often. No. Like I think last time I was here was 420.
I think yeah. We haven't been here much either.
So it's so now I'm going to be here more regularly and get to hang out a little bit more often. And there are bills that we need to get done, and there's legislation still needs to happen. There's some things we have to look out for. So there's some, but one of the things I know you guys are very passionate about that we got to get across the finish line, which is home growth, particularly for patients. So that's something we also feel very, very much about, and it is something that just has to happen. People need to grow their own medicine. It's not a big deal. And it's not something that's going to proliferate where everybody's going to be growing weed from their homes or anything like that, which some people are worried about. But, if you're in the business side of things and you look at states like, every state, Colorado, Massachusetts, Michigan, they're all doing very, very well on the business side, and they have homegrown.
Yes.
So it is not going to be an impact, and we should. And right now, because of prices, especially, people, how are you going to afford $300 per an ounce? $400 for an ounce or more. So it makes sense to allow patients to grow their own medicine.
That's like a good question. It's not a rhetorical question. I've been asking that to people at the dispensaries when I go there, at Curaleaf in Belmar, and the answers are pretty interesting. But the problem is it's between patients and patients, not between patients and legislators. The idea, if I could just be doing my little video work and get people to do that, it's something that's missing. You know, there's a certain detachment from the realities of what happens. It's like you have to define what is able to afford it mean. To me, if you're able to afford it, you don't have to make other financial arrangements in order to get it. You just get it. It doesn't have a trickle down effect on anything else you're doing. In that definition, more people can afford it than can.
Right.
And the things that got me were they're not like so hard to bear. It's just when somebody tells me without any animosity towards anybody, says, well, I haven't bought new clothes in 3 years other than like socks and underwear, and my husband hasn't, and my husband hasn't either. And I said, so your husband's a patient too? She went, no, but he loves me. And I thought, that's nice, but you see the sadness there, that to the people who are not concerned about it in the legislature, it doesn't personally affect them in that way. And I'm saying that without blaming anybody or saying it should be otherwise. Don't have what it takes to be able to see that. And I feel that's partially my fault, because I've been wanting to get video out publicly about this for years, and I haven't done it. And nobody's really stepped forward to say, Jim, let's do this. So
Jim, let's do this. So I think part of the challenge, and it's not just cannabis specific, it's every issue. And so you got legislators who ran for office because they wanted to lower taxes, or they wanted to protect the environment, or whatever it is that motivated them to run for office. And then all of a sudden they have to have opinions on 1,000 different issues. Yeah. So it is incumbent upon all of us on the advocacy side, no matter what the issue is. You know, if you're an advocate for healthcare, or you're an advocate for education, labor unions, cannabis activists, like all of us have to get our message out, and we have to drive issues home. And one of the things that I think we should be talking about is, the fentanyl crisis is a big issue, right? So, and getting people the ability, like I read this article, and it's shocking and it's scary. It was Connecticut, and a kid died of a fentanyl overdose because they bought a bag of weed from the street, right? So that's very rare. That's something that happens on a daily occurrence necessarily, but it happens enough that could also be a reason to just say, hey, people, let people grow their own weed at home. Like, why are we going back to the street when we just legalized? When we're going back to the street after we legalized because I can't afford a $300 or $400 ounce. That's why. Yeah. So what's another reason that could get legislators motivated to go, like, you know what, that makes sense. So that's where this really will come down to, Jim, everybody else that's part of this whole process here, is what's going to drive that message home for that particular legislator. That particular legislator might be on board because of patient access, or another legislator might be on board for whatever, but you have to find what's that niche, what's going to motivate that person. And I'm watching more and more the conversation of fentanyl being discussed more openly now. 100,000 some odd deaths last year for fentanyl, just fentanyl overdose, not all opioids and not all drugs. So what can we do to motivate somebody to recognize, like, hey man, let patients grow their own weed?
I have ideas exactly about that, and it's they're simple, and it's, I think, when I say our fault, I mean advocates and activists for all things cannabis, that we realize the importance of constituents getting in touch with their representation, and we say, get in touch with your senator, get in touch with your two assembly. We suggest that. How do they know what's going to motivate that person to read their letter past the first paragraph? They don't know. They need more information, but we don't give it to them. We let them to their own devices. They write basically a manifesto that's barely going to get read, as if they're never going to talk to this person again. Everything, I have a better system. And I tried last year. I wrote letters on behalf of 12 patients, and they copied and pasted them and sent them as their own because it exemplified exactly what they wanted to say. Now, that worked to a degree because I know more about individuals. I research them. I don't know more, but I do my homework. And I got sidetracked from doing that again this year, but that's important. You know what nobody does when you write your legislator? 15-second selfie attachment. Just saying something, the exclamation point. Now, when Joanne Zito had something going to a legislator, 100 and some people, I think it was a petition of some sort, where you would comment. But one person thought to add an attachment to their comment, and it became personable. And that legislator got back in touch with Joanne and wanted to know more about that. These are things we could be suggesting, and we could be steering patients better. I think we need somebody to head up an effort like that. Not necessarily me. I'm not a leader when it comes to stuff like that.
Dude, you're very much a leader. Look at your name. It's Jim.
Jim with the next
Yeah.
How much Republican support do we have for these bills? The patient bill. Say the patient.
I couldn't tell you because I haven't really talked to legislators in a while. I wear a different hat these days,
Right.
so it's been a minute.
Long summer too.
Yeah, it's been a long summer too. But the libertarian side of the Republican Party should embrace it. I mean, if you're talking about like limiting the amount of government interaction and so forth, my ability as a patient to grow my own cannabis at my own house should be a libertarian Republican issue. And it should, generally speaking, have that support. The concern that same Republican might have is the law and order side of a Republican mind, right? So I'm a Republican, I'm an Army veteran, and so I can appreciate, having all these different things going on in my head. Well, it should make sense over here, but the law and order over there, and understanding my former colleagues and what they're going through in their process. So the law and order side of things is pretty easy. It really is. It's just getting people understanding what cannabis is and it's not, so that they have a comfort level that this is not going to be some rampant thing. It is something that most people don't want to do. Most people don't want to have weed growing in their house. So that's okay, right? Okay. But for those that do, or they need to, because of cost or access, if you have God forbid, and I've always said this, and that's why I've always supported homegrow, God forbid that your daughter has Dravet syndrome, and you needed to make sure that she has access to her medicine, but yet a bunch of people on Saturday night should weed and shut the dispensary down for that particular strain. And we can't have that. We need to ensure that that person has ready access to medicine, particularly for a scenario like that, and allowing that person to grow their own cannabis, their own medicine for their
I need perspective from legislators themselves and people who have been state legislators themselves. I have one right in front of me here. Actually, it looks like you're right in between the bookends of the original podcasters here. This is my as a legislator, would you rather? I mean, I have a theory that it would be better for a constituent to write something like this. I'll try to remember what was going out this year. It's like the letter would say, I'm a constituent. I'm also a medical marijuana patient, and I don't want to meet with you. I don't really need to discuss anything with you, nor anybody on your staff. All I need for you to do is to talk to any co-sponsor of Senate Bill 342 from either side of the aisle about why they co-sponsored it. And then get back to me and tell me where you think they might be right, where you think they might be wrong, and where there are additional concerns you need more information from. Because what we're trying to do is get co-sponsors for an informational bill where it would be informational committee session, where it would be that committee session where you get the information. It's sort of the cart before the horse to a layman like me, that you need to present information why you need an informational hearing. That's ass backwards in my opinion, but it's the way it works. So the thing is, I'm not asking for a legislator to take any time to discuss my own personal thing, because or anybody's, and then a couple patients have mailed out these to a couple people who will not reply because you already know their
Are there any responses? Are there any responses?
Was that, well, here's my point. Okay, if I said there's a bill that has a co-sponsorship of 25% of the Republican senators and 8% of the Democrat senators, so there's 4 co-sponsoring Republican senators out of 16, 4 out of 16. That makes this a solidly bipartisan issue. And my message to the Republican Party is pick up the fumble, pick it up, get more co-sponsorship, do it during the summer recess, and boom, then it becomes a Republican issue, in almost like, hey, Democrats, you can't get it done yourselves. You don't seem interested. It's as bipartisan as it gets. So for patients, and I feel terrible when they try to get in touch with it and they say, well, they didn't get back in touch with me. I even have to say, you actually have to ask for a return. Otherwise you might hear, oh, I looked at your concerns. If something comes before me where that's an issue, I'll keep your views in mind.
Right.
That's familiar,
so,
right?
So that's why, I mean, it does require different messages for different people, identifying, what's going to work. That's really important part of this whole process, and it's changing the discussion around, because as passionate as we are, like I said earlier, they're dealing with a bunch of other issues. They have to stay on top of all these different things.
That's why. I don't mean to interrupt, Scott, but I got to tell you, I forget things really, really quick, and this is good. So if I do like this, it's because I'm about to slip through. That's why I want them, legislators, to talk to members of their own species. They know everything you just said. The conversation between me and my legislator, I have to try to keep in mind things, and I well know that we have no idea what goes on. I feel bad for legislators when somebody says all you have to do is, because that's not all you have to do. That's like us being told, if you want to get a legislator to listen to you, all you have to do is, and I want to stop them right there and say, no, it's not going to be all you have to do.
First things first, I think the and this is a much longer conversation, and I'm happy to engage with you guys. I always have been.
Oh, yeah.
But the first things first is the bill and the committee. And the committee is the one that's going to get the bill to the floor, right? So the health committee is probably the one. So Senator Joe Vitale, the chair, is the guy that really needs to have the conversation with. And then, but it's also everybody on that committee needs to have more of a conversation and diversify the message to include things that you may not normally be talking about. Like I said, the fentanyl crisis, if anything, will motivate other people to go like, you know what, that makes sense. If right now the cost per ounce is $300 to $400 for an ounce, if that's going on right now, then what we need to really do is help these patients get access to their medicine. And why would they sort of force them to go out back to the street? The whole objective of legalization was to help people get cleaner, healthier, safer cannabis. Hey,
and stay out of jail too.
You want to do an improv? Let me.
Yes.
We come here.
This got fun.
1 o'clock.
All right. So remember, Jim, we mentioned we have this new hire. Her name is Jenna Russo. I'm gonna leave because I actually was on my way out someplace. But you got Ed DeVoe walking up. We got Jenna Russo walking up.
I'm out of here. I gotta go.
So I am going to because I was on an errand. But and I'm going to introduce Ed. Ed will introduce Jenna. And but I really want to continue the conversation because Jim, it's very, very important. Some of these issues we were just talking about home grow for patients, and the cost per ounce, $300 to $400 is cost prohibitive. And so people are they're staying in the gray market. They're staying in the legacy market, and sometimes that's great because there's really a bunch of great guys. But sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. And with fentanyl being the crisis that it is, and people dying from fentanyl overdose because they smoked weed that they had no idea was laced with fentanyl. That's something that should motivate other legislators. They may not have been there before, but that's another reason. So that's the kind of stuff that we were talking about. But we are super excited, and I'm going to continue the conversation with you, Jim, and Lefty, and everybody else. But I really am excited to introduce. Well, I'm going to introduce Ed DeVoe, who's a big fan of this group, and then he's going to introduce Janet. All right.
Can I ask you one couple questions? All right. First time you smoked weed. How old were you?
12.
Same here.
Yeah, 12.
Favorite munchie food?
The high dictates. It is, sometimes it's cereal. Sometimes it's pizza. Sometimes it's caramel and peanut butter over Rice Krispies, and you melt it together. That's really not healthy. That's why I got these fat cheeks. I love the weed. All right.
Wait, one more.
Oh, yeah.
Give me one life gem you tell a friend or somebody who's depressed or down, or just a life gem you would tell somebody to pick them up in life. Give me a life gem that you know.
Well, the best thing that you can always do is be honest with yourself and transparent with other people. And because you're going to get knocked down. People get knocked down all the time. And as long as you are honest with who you are, it won't really matter. And as long as you are transparent about who you are, those people that have been trying to knock you away, fuck them.
I love that one.
All right, Scott.
Wow, that was awesome.
He's always been one of the best
advice ever. F him.
Yeah.
Oh man, do you want to have a seat here? We don't have a normal podcast today. Normally we have headphones and everything.
I think
Ed's going to come over first.
Okay.
We're squeezed into a box today.
All right.
How are you, bro?
Hey, Jim.
Good to
Lefty,
see
how
you,
are
man.
you, babe?
What's up,
Hey.
Ed? Good to
All
see
right,
you.
Jim. Good to see you, man.
In a while.
Yes.
Here we are. Look at that. You got bookended by the original podcasters here.
That's right. That's
How
right. The
long
OGs.
It looks like
you
you're still
must
there.
you must have been sitting down at the podcast when very few people would sit down at the podcast. I mean, I can't remember the first time. It's got to be almost within the first 2 years we started or something.
Yes.
Yeah, you've been doing this for a while.
Right.
So right off, high marks for that. And then Scott too, same thing.
Yeah,
You know,
right on.
Wow.
I got a time limit though, but it's like a good
Okay, right on.
Then in
doctor
the
appointment. I'm old.
So in the time that we have, look, I am thrilled, as Scott was sharing, the association, thanks to your support, Lefty support, going back, but things are happening, and we realize that we are actually getting bigger, we're getting better, and we are making the plunge. We hired a deputy executive director. She hails from Stockton University. She actually interned with us a couple of years ago, graduated with a minor in the cannabis studies program. She's an outstanding technician. She knows social media, all the things that us old guys can't do, and she nails it for us. and so we are just thrilled to have with us, and I'm going to introduce her, let her take a seat. Unless you want to ask me the 3 questions that you asked Scott.
Before you go, I have 3 questions. Bongholio was walking around at the expo. He's an 8-foot purple bong. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he was questioning people 3 days straight. He literally spent 9 hours in the suit. So the questions are: first time you ever smoked weed, how old were you?
Let me see. I think a sophomore in high school. I'm 15.
Wow.
A joint, blunt,
Joint.
Did it work the first time? Because it didn't work for me the first time.
Yes, it did.
It did.
I got the silly. Dude, I was totally silly.
Nice.
I got a story about that too, by
Really?
the way.
Go ahead.
Real quick story. I happened to do it the day of a biology exam. So it was, kid you not, fetal pig exam. You had to go to the front of the classroom. Go to the front of the classroom, and the teacher, Mr. Musgrave, God bless his soul, Mr. Musgrave would point to a part of the anatomy, and you would have to name it.
Okay.
And so, dude, I'm laughing. I got this. And he's pointing to different organs, and some I got and some I got wrong. So finally, he says, and I'll never forget. It's like, Ed, point out the intermastoceum. And I have the scalpel, and I'm poking around. I start laughing, and I say, "There's no such thing." He says, "You're right." And I
Wow. What is that?
And I passed the test, and the
That's
people
hilarious.
and the kids in the class were just like, "That's not fair." And that's, and it's like, no, he got it right. It's a question.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
I'm thinking it's baby. I felt dumb for a second
Nope.
there.
I was just poking around. There is
That's
such
funny.
thing, and said it laughing. Yep.
Okay. Favorite munchy food?
Ritz crackers with grape jelly or strawberry jelly.
Ritz crackers.
Ritz, got to be a Ritz.
Got to be Ritz.
Got to be the salt on it. Yeah, no one's got the salt. Other crackers are either too buttery or something.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's a Ritz with either grape jelly or strawberry jelly.
Last question. If you have a friend who's down or anxious or just depressed, or just anybody you want to give life advice to, if you have a gem of advice that you can give someone to get them through their lives when they're down.
The windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror.
Woo.
And is that way because you are supposed to be moving forward. Don't look back.
That's a good one. We've heard a lot of them, and that's a good one. I like that.
That's what I live by, baby.
Wow. Hey, thank you so much.
No,
man.
Lefty,
You're the best.
love you, man.
Love
Thank
you,
you.
brother.
Jim, love you, man.
Dude, man, you the man.
I appreciate it. Well, without any further ado,
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce the new Deputy Executive Director of the NJCBA, Jenna Russo.
Yes. Hi, Jenna. Great to
Hi.
meet you.
How you doing?
Right
Hi,
on.
Jen.
This is Jim Miller.
Hi,
Want
Jim.
me to get your umbrella?
No, it's okay. I
Okay.
can grab
I
it.
think we're going to be good for a while.
Okay.
Wow, so this is exciting.
This is
Wow.
exciting.
So you were interning for a couple of years.
Yeah, I interned for them my sophomore year when COVID hit.
Oh, right on.
I was nannying in Weehawken, and Kathy Sedia from Stockton said, "Well, you have to do your internship. These are your people." And I said, "Okay."
Right on.
And here I am, and I've been with them. So
Nice. Great group of people.
great group of people.
What is your background and why does this interest you? This whole
So
industry?
actually, as I was telling Ed when I got my interview, there's a huge opioid epidemic in America, and now this fentanyl problem that's existing, and so many people my age dying. It's horrible to see a bunch of people I grew up with overdosed, passed away. Family members of mine struggled with addiction, and someone very close to me went away to a rehabilitation center in California. And the rehabilitation center that individual went to was cannabis care based. And he was actually telling me that the turnaround rate of beating the addiction was so much higher than rehabilitation centers that don't offer that type of treatment. So then I started looking into it more. I mean, again, not to answer your question and jump the gun, but my first experience with cannabis was when I was 13. My parents were not happy, to say the least. And they definitely weren't happy when 18-year-old me said, "I'm going to minor in cannabis studies."
Whoa.
And now here I
Good
am standing
report.
at 22, and my mom now dabbles in cannabis for sleep purposes, my father for anxiety, my grandmother, who's an immigrant to this country, she's from Italy. My grandfather has tried it. He's from Argentina, and they are very biased. So it's crazy how many people's minds I opened just with one simple career choice, and now how they're actually proud of me. I was so scared that they wouldn't be.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost a brother-in-law. My brother-in-law to fentanyl,
Sorry.
and it wasn't cannabis that was laced. It was cocaine that was laced
Yeah.
with fentanyl.
It's very popular to be cocaine laced and Xanax laced, actually.
Xanax, I heard too now.
Very common. I know someone that passed away that way.
Yeah, we have a list that we do at the end of our podcast. It's very sad when you see, what people have struggled with, and the
It's
cannabis
okay.
patients are going through, especially. God bless you, doing great work.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
this. I know that it's not the issue, but
Wow. They're taking us away.
wow. Hold on a second. Let me pull this away from you. Oh my goodness.
Technical
Good,
difficulties.
good thing I got the picture.
Thank you. Yeah.
We sat through a lot of those technical
Got it.
difficulties.
Wow, that was a good one.
It's like, am I gonna get knocked out by this pole?
Goodness. Oh.
That's some big wind.
Yeah, we're not afraid to be out here. We've been out here in worse weather than this. Did that get bent? Or
I think I left the whatever the state was.
it was a screwdriver.
Right here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we had a 10-top. We had a 10-top make it to the road.
What's that, Jim?
We had a 10-top almost make it to the road from in front of the State House one day like this. It's a wind tunnel. You know, we won Thanksgiving. The wind was blowing so hard to your right as you're facing the road, and stuff would blow down like papers, and you don't want to leave your trash running down the road.
Of course.
And I was facing that way at that side, you know, ready to go, like, and a wind gust came by and I didn't even look. It's like hearing the crack of the bat. And I went and I ran as quick as I can run. And then as I'm running, this garbage all passed me and I started to turn and corral it. So, wow, you made it stop, Lefty. You're like divine here. How'd you do that? Whole wind disappeared. Wow.
I spoke too soon and it cleared up.
Yeah. Anyway, that's,
Thank you. It was my grandmother's and it was her mother's before that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
third generation to wear it.
I try to educate people at my church about cannabis because they haven't come around, it seems. They make a lot of jokes. I have a teaching church. I go to Liquid. It's a teaching church. And it's not like the Catholic Church. It's more or less, just teaching the Bible. And they make a lot of jokes about cannabis. Like when they talk about Jersey Stone, it's like, no, we want biblically Stone, not Jersey Stone. And I'm like, that's funny, but let's talk about the patients.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, leaving the 99 to go back for the one, to help the sick and
And
dying.
listen, if you're a religious person, I believe, this is my personal belief, I'm not trying to preach or push on anyone,
No.
but I think, God wouldn't have a problem with it. He put it on this earth. It's a plant growing out of the ground just like any other.
Yeah.
Interesting point I'd like to ask you, Lefty. I'm pointing at you. I don't know how to work that out, but I in the past often have asked, have you ever prayed for guidance on this? It's a simple question. You either have or you haven't. And I'm guessing they haven't, because if they're joking about it and they're going to say, I have prayed about it and God thinks it's a joke, and to a person, nobody has ever said, I have. They almost seem surprised at the question, but where do you go for guidance? Well, where does he go for guidance?
Right.
All rolls uphill, and eventually. So I would suggest, not suggesting, but I have, and I don't fit in that box in the first place, but I'll try anything, So whether or not I believed it was going to have any merit, and honestly, I felt good about just asking out loud, because the answer seems as obvious as you just made it sound. It's sort of like it's God's plant, not mine,
And you should ultimately do whatever feels right in your heart at the end of the day. If you know that you have positive intentions and you're not a crappy person, more power to you.
Yeah. I asked the Billy Graham Evangelical Association this, because I've been doing this a lot. And so last century, at the end of last century, when I asked Billy Graham's Evangelical Association this, I told them about Cheryl, and they said that since this was for Cheryl's good and her health, it's God's plan. I mean, they didn't phrase it like that, but they standing behind that. They said we would hope there would be an exception made in her case. So that went away in the
Charlotte's Web, right?
Yeah, well, this was at a time, people forget, in the late 1990s, if you were an advocate, well, people don't forget, they didn't experience it. The only discussion was, it doesn't work. It's not medicine. Prove it. You can't prove it. It's never been studied.
It was testing.
Right. It was all that. You couldn't get by it. So it took a decade. Matter of fact, that's why Cheryl, in her hospital bed, took tincture in front of the State House there in 97 with the attitude, well, you say it's never been tested. It's not allowed to be tested with gold standard studies, double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical crossover studies. So this is not a big study. It's a study of one. It's not any of those things. But if there's never been any studies, it'll be the best study ever done. So then she took her tincture in the hospital bed after I put her in it, and she was stiff as a board. An hour later, like wet spaghetti, like cooked spaghetti, and the police refused to take it because I told them, I said, the only thing missing from this test is verification of the study material. So so it was either Gatorade, because it was mixed with Gatorade in a little bottle because she doesn't smoke, or cannabis. And now you're going to arrest me and Cheryl, and then you'll have to test it. So you're part of the test. And they refused. They refused to test it. I was almost arrested for not leaving after not being arrested. And it all centers around, though, it really should be more supported by.
Jim used to, Cheryl was Jim's late wife, and he used to push her across New Jersey in her gurney, in her bed, because she had multiple sclerosis. She couldn't move. And your activism was amazing. It inspired me.
It was desperation. It wasn't activism as much as desperation, when somebody with MS at that point can only move their head. And you literally tried everything. I mean, 2 weeks in California with a nutritionist. I mean, everything. You did 19 separate things. And when I really went into gear, when I thanked her for not doing as an MS patient did in Lakewood, New Jersey, right next to where we live, she went to Dr. Kevorkian, and her life ended more pleasantly in her case as far as she was concerned. I thanked Cheryl for not considering that option, and she looked right at me and said, "What makes you think I wouldn't consider that option? Do not presume to know what it's like." And my blood went cold. So it came down to this last thing. She never smoked, used cannabis. We married in '81. She was in a wheelchair. Never what? But she doesn't smoke, Jim. You smoke a lot. And I go, and I'll still have the same amount to smoke because she doesn't smoke. Oh,
remember what Jeff Oakes said?
Yeah.
To Governor Murphy?
Yeah.
He said the state will allow him to kill himself, but not give him enough medical cannabis to live.
Yeah.
The state will allow him to kill himself because he couldn't afford the medicine. He needed £1 a month for his FICO, for his RSO, and he couldn't get that. It was unavailable. He couldn't afford it, and it was not available. He couldn't buy a pound.
You mind if I ask Jennifer a question?
Yes. Well, ask her. I don't know.
Part about what you're doing now, and let me preface it by saying I hold Ed in the highest regard for what he does. Mostly because I stood outside a committee room that was packed with him, and it was like, I felt like he should have a ring and people would be kissing it walking by. Everybody wanted to say hi. Legislators, aides, people that, I'm like, this man is a perfect go-between everybody, and he comes to our podcast. We hit gold here. So what do you like best now that you're doing this?
I think the thing that I like best is that I'm personally able to both affect change and see change happening firsthand. You know what I mean? There's so
Good
many,
answer.
like the story of your wife and everything that's going on right now and how far we've come since I've been an intern, that so much positive change has happened, and I know that it'll still be happening, and it's so fulfilling to know that I am able to have a career where I can make a difference in someone else's life.
Wow, you're stepping in at a really good time, because a lot of people think we're there, but as Lefty and I are well aware, okay, as long as I did this from about 1990 till when the law was actually passed and then would go to be signed, I left the State House and looked back and see you later or not, because I pushed the wheelchair there in '93 and ended up there, and I was going there all the time, and I wanted to not go back anymore. And that was the beginning. So this is the beginning of what's next, and it's the most important part, getting it as right as we can. And that's a great answer to the question, to be able what you get out of doing that. And it doesn't matter if anybody really doesn't matter if anybody knows what you did. You know that you're playing a part in a positive effect on people's lives that are in pain now. And you don't need them to beg you for help. You know they're there. And you know just as much as that, whether or not they know you personally, they appreciate it. Yeah, you did a great job. You thought that out well.
Can I ask you those questions?
3? Sure.
All right. So the first one, I think your age was 16?
13.
Oh, 13. Sorry, 13. Wow. Okay. Was it a blunt, joint?
It was a joint that my older cousin rolled, who was in Stockton at the time, which was the reason I went to Stockton.
Shout out
to him. Him and my uncle were both alumni from Stockton, so they influenced me to go there. But yes, him. Joint.
I know a lot of people in Stockton that smoke weed.
There's this place. It's called Turtle Island on Stockton, and that's where everyone used to go. Turtle Island.
Used to. Where do they go now?
Well, I guess now that it's legal, things have changed. They just go on the light path or the dark path. They don't care.
Rob Mejia's office.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Favorite munchie food?
Oh.
I think ice cream. Honestly, I can eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's like it's no one's business. Fish food.
Really?
Yes.
What is fish food? What's in that?
It's little chocolate pieces, caramel, chocolate and vanilla swirl ice cream. Oh. It's everything you need. It's so good.
That sounds good. I need to go out and get those things right now.
I gotta get going in a minute. I got a doctor's appointment. I'm keeping a close eye on the time.
She's going to give me some advice. She's about to give me some life advice that's going to take you throughout your life. First advice that you'd give Jim and anyone else who needs some advice to get through life.
There's always better days ahead. No matter what, you're always going to have a better day tomorrow than you had today, even if today was the worst day of your life. So you always have that to look forward to.
Wow, right on.
Pretty sage.
So great to meet you.
So nice meeting you. Thank you so much.
Hope your arm feels better.
Oh, yeah.
Softball?
No, actually, I was chasing my puppy. Well, she's 2. She's not a puppy by any means. Yeah, she chases the garbage truck. I fell over lifted pavement. Not a beautiful time.
Yeah, I feel better.
Thank
Cannabis
you.
will help that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, texture on there, lotion on there.
Yeah, nice topical. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. God bless you both.
I have an appointment, a foot doctor appointment, and I got to make that. But I want to tell you, you can actually get changed while you're on a thing like this. So if you review the events of your podcast, you'll be able to clearly see I slipped from a pair of shorts to my jeans while I was on the podcast.
You changed clothing on the podcast? You were naked?
No, I had underwear on. I had shorts.
Right. Yeah, right. That's what they all say. That's what all the naked podcasts.
You got to know how to use it,
You're a voyeur. Oh no, you're an
exhibitionist. I was multitasking, man. I wanted to stay on to the last second. Your podcast is worth it, Lefty. Your podcast is worth so much to me that I didn't want to take the time it took to get changed because I would have had it already been off. And I was 19 years old the first time I smoked pot. It was the first time anybody asked me, do you want to smoke pot? It was 1970. So it wasn't, it was a little more hush-hush. And I was a good. Everybody thought I wouldn't be that type of person. How wrong could they have been? I don't remember my first munchie food, but when I heard Lester Grinspoon say that after he got high on the first time when he was like in his late 30s, you can tell people who Lester Grinspoon is later. He said the first thing he did after he got high was he had cotton mouth, dry mouth, so he got some orange juice. And that it was the best orange juice he's ever had in his whole life. Every time I drink orange juice.
I hear juice. Ricky Williams' favorite munchie food is juice. And I tried it last night. And I think juice, I had some grape juice. And it was really nice munchie drink. Whatever you want to call it. It's good.
All right. I got to go.
Wait. Give me the life advice. Give me your life advice.
appreciate every day that doesn't start out with curveballs being thrown at you, because if the day starts out neutral, it's yours to do anything you want with it. If you have a bad day after that, it's probably your fault. So don't have a bad day after that. Appreciate it. Think of the times that you did everything right and something went wrong.
Like right now when the tent's
You're
going to blow away.
like you're going to fly away. Hey, listen, man, I got to go. I'm going to be late, and I'm a good customer there.
Hold on. Jim, where you going?
All right.
Hi.
Just hung up on Jim.
I saw that. He's like, what?
He can still hear us, but we can't hear him. He's off. We just hung up on him. So sorry,
that's
Jim.
funny. Hi, everybody.
He's still there. Hold on, I'll
Oh,
put him
is
back.
he?
We hung up on you, Jim. What are you still doing here?
I just wanted to tell Honeybee, I don't know why you say hello. I say goodbye. I'm on
Hi,
my way
Jim.
out. Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Enjoy.
Jim.
He's being a bit of a dick today, but it's fun.
It is his middle name, Richard.
There you go.
He's being Richard.
I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jim.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing fabulous. I am so excited. I'm ready to go. Well, I got my big problem out of the way. My truck needed a new starter. My new truck needed a new starter.
Right.
So I got my new starter and I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the state houses. I needed a truck so I could go to the state houses because I needed to haul, there's a lot of things to do when you set up a podcast. There are a lot of things to haul.
You saying state houses? Are you going to go to a different state house than Oregon?
I'm going to show up in Jersey one day.
In your truck in Jersey. You're going to drive your truck to Jersey.
You never know.
Wow.
Well, my cousin's in Arizona. I have cousins in New Mexico. I might want to drive to Utah because I grew up there. I'm not that far from Washington. So, it's pretty exciting stuff here in Oregon. I have started the first annual state house rally for our cannabis patient activists. We have submitted for a national holiday for cannabis patients everywhere. We can only do a national holiday in the States, but we're really going to celebrate it worldwide. This is going to be a worldwide holiday where we can be the voice of cannabis patients. So, even just one person is the voice of many patients. We are the voice of many patients. And so even though we don't have a big group every time, we are here fighting for all of you that can't be here and all of you that have passed on so we can make it better for the next people, because we're really getting sick of our list growing faster and longer. And I lost my son, and it never gets easier. It never gets easier. So, we have to keep on fighting and we have to keep on working. Even if you don't think no one's here, there are a lot of people here. There is so many people here. So we need to gather together and think of the things that we need to fix for our cannabis patients and bring them to our attention, because excuse me, this is very sensitive to me. So bring that to our attention so we can fight for you, so we can bring it out to the public, so we can, bring other people in to help us, because you're not the only one out there that has something that needs to be addressed. We need cannabis for medical prices. My son prime example. My son Michael, who's on this list, unfortunately, passed away in 2015, and it's been my goal to not have other families or have other children go through this, especially if we can just help them with cannabis. So, how many children have a cannabis card? Well, we don't know.
We don't know because of the HIPAA rules. There's no way to find out. But I could tell you there's a lot. Just from being an activist in New Jersey, I could tell you there's a lot of cannabis patients that are children that you don't hear about. You just don't hear about it.
How would children go about getting a card? Have we talked about that very much? Because you know what, my son, he got a card, but he was over 18.
You have to go to a pediatrician, but even every pediatrician doesn't agree with it. Like my friend has cancer. She has breast cancer. They had her on 16 rounds of chemo. They cut off her breasts. Now they're going to give her more chemo. And she asked her doctor for cannabis, and they said, no, we don't do that. I said, you got to be kidding me. They will cut your breasts off, give you fucking poison chemicals, but not give you cannabis? No. So I gave her my medical doctor's number across town. So she has to go to a different doctor to go get her cannabis, because I've been giving her FICO. I give her, whenever I have FICO, I give it to her, like, here, use this, and I give her hemp oil to use during the day, because that's what's going to help her. And it's sad because she's scared. She's scared. She's listening to these doctors, and I would trust God's medicine before I trust any of these man-made medicines.
Right, exactly. And you know, why can't we tell the doctors? We hire the doctors. We got to tell them, you know what, this is what I want. You need to go research it, and I will come back or whatever. But this is what I want.
You would remove her breasts before you give her medical cannabis. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's just like that Whipple effect, or what?
Like the guy Randy Robertson.
Yes.
With the Whipple, they gave him the Whipple procedure before they gave him medical cannabis. How about you give him medical cannabis first, then you do the Whipple procedure? Let's try that way.
How many times do they kill a person before they bring him back?
Big Pharma. They want to do Big Pharma. You know what they wanted to do to me? They wanted to take this TENS unit, like the pads that I use for my back, the stim. I have that. I use it on my back. I take them off when I'm done. They want to do an implant. They wanted to implant these in my skin. And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. We do it all the time. I'm like, why? And no, because they'll do it. And then if you don't like it, they'll take it out. If you get an infection, well, we'll do something for that. We'll give you another operation. We got pills for this. We got pills for that. We got operations for you all day long. You got good insurance? Sure. Yeah. We'll do it. We'll take it in, put it out.
Right.
We'll cut your penis off. We'll put your penis back on. We'll cut everything off. We'll put it back on for you. We'll give you drugs, whatever you want. Big Pharma is behind a lot of this bullshit you hear today. And I don't want Big Pharma. You want to do what you want to do. Good. Do what you want to do. It's a free country. But when you have Big Pharma pushing an agenda and forcing people to make these choices, like my sister was killed by Big Pharma. Yeah. My sister, when she died from cancer, we couldn't get in there to see her because of COVID. They said, oh, here, you need to do this. You need this chemo. You need this new drug. You need this. She tried it all, and they killed her because she had nobody to advocate for her. Nobody was allowed to go in the hospital during COVID to help her. Right. So Big Pharma killed her because they were like, oh, yeah, we'll give you have insurance here. Boom, 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 boom. Take all this. Boom. And it killed her.
And this is why we need to fight back, and we need to show that there are other ways. We can't just automatically believe that our government has our best interest.
No, you trust but verify, like Ronald Reagan's. I hated Reagan, but trust but verify.
Did you know that Ronald Reagan actually said, let's make America great again?
They all said that. That's been
said. I know, so why do people say that? Trump made it up. Trump
they said that in the 1800s, I think.
Trump's a puppet. He's a trumpet, like a puppet trumpet. Oh my. So, I'm just so happy that we can be here for the voice of many people because, my son can't be here. He's passed on. But you know what? There's other kids that have seizures. There's other kids that need this medicine and we need to help them. And that's why we're here. So, thanks for watching us. Please, everyone, like, share, tell everyone what we're doing because we are here to help. We're here to help the sick and the dying. And with the grace of God and by God, we are here to make a difference. And So if please just like us. We're Sativa Cross West in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, sativacross.org in New Jersey with Lefty and everybody great back there. And I am building my empire out here with Paul Stanford. Paul Stanford does a TV show on Friday nights, Common Sense Cannabis TV show. You can follow him on any social media, Paul Stanford. He was Jack Herrera's roommate when he was younger. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Paul is great. You guys should all watch him. He's doing great things out west, and I help him as much as I can. I'm trying to get my podcast started. Now with this new technology, I'm able to do a little bit things a little bit different, and so I'm excited. Sativa Cross West is back with a vengeance, sober off alcohol, because I am sober off alcohol, and thanks to cannabis, and thanks to cannabis.
Amazing.
You all know I made that sign a long time ago about alcohol shall not touch these lips, and how that was back in the day. It really is evil, and I hope that anyone that's struggling with alcohol addiction, if you want to talk to someone, if you need help with ideas on how to stay sober or transition over to be sober, you know, I can help you. I have lots of ideas. I have lots of support, lots of love, and cannabis saves the day. If you think that you want to do, if like, I also used to smoke cigarettes, so every time that I would want to smoke a cigarette, I would just pick up a cannabis pre-roll and puff away. And guess what? I don't smoke cigarettes and I don't drink alcohol, and I'm not in pain because I took these gummies.
You
And
like those pre-rolls?
I am the pre-roll queen out here because they have pre-roll packs like crazy. And with the medical card out here, I don't have to pay taxes. And if I get it on a discount, then I get a discount and don't have to pay taxes. So, there's so many benefits of getting a cannabis card. First of all, it shows that there is a need. If we don't show that there is a need for cannabis medical cards, then they're not going to take care of us. Right? Right. Puff, puff, puff right now. Okay. We're all going to puff.
Puff time. No, it's going.
Puff, puff, puff for me because I can't pass. Hi. Who's that?
Kevin? That's Honeybee. We smoke it up. Oh, yeah. This is tasty. This is from Maine, just so you know. It's from Maine. It's not from Jersey. Jersey does not have anything like this. I'm sorry, Jersey, but you don't. You just don't. You don't have anything like this. Sorry.
Oh, what is that?
It's crazy. I think it's diamonds. I don't even know. It's just
is it diamonds?
It's ridiculous.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend, I heard. Did I say breast friend?
I mean, what else are you going to do in front of the State House on a rainy day except some diamonds?
It's raining?
And it's raining. It's pouring here.
Is it cold?
Look, can you see? That's shit.
Nobody's there, huh?
No. Well, no. This has been a great podcast. We've had really good people here. It's been great. So I'm not going to complain.
You're the voice of many, and this just shows.
All you have to do is show up sometimes, and cool things will happen.
Yeah, and we're the voice of many, even though sometimes we stand alone and there's just one or two people. This show will last forever, and this show keeps on telling everyone that we're not giving up. Just like nobody give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on staying sober. Don't give up.
Don't give up. That's one of the main messages I hear from people in their little thing that they tell people. What life advice is mostly don't give up.
Don't give up.
Generally, some of them are great. Some of them are great. I mean, I'm like, wow. I can't wait to make a video of all these questions. that Mikey
Yeah.
was asking. And now I'm asking because they're amazing questions. And I'm going to ask Kevin soon when we're done. I don't think I asked you yet either, Honeybee. So I'm going to ask you. We're not getting off the line yet, but I'm going to ask you. When was the first time you smoked weed?
13.
13. Wow. You
With
little-
my aunt in New Mexico.
With your aunt, your irresponsible aunt. Oh my.
Oh no, she's my favorite aunt.
I'm kidding. She told you the truth. The government lied to you, not your aunt.
Hell no. I never believed the government.
No.
You know, that's been with me since I just don't think I ever believed anybody. I question everybody, even my parents, especially my parents, and they didn't like that. They're like, "Could you shut your mouth?"
Stop questioning us. You're very disagreeable.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I just want to know. Why can't I know everything?
Second question. What's your favorite munchie food?
Are you gonna hang up on me?
Not until you answer the questions.
Well, I'm not gonna answer the question if you're gonna hang up on me.
No, I'm not hanging up on you. We just got started.
Oh, my favorite. Okay, you know what I did out here on my podcast? I did Munchie Minute. So Munchie Minute out here means I record whoever wants to submit their video. They tell us what their munchie minute is, what their munchie is when they get stoned. So my favorite is Doritos and cottage cheese.
Wait, what? Doritos and cottage cheese?
Yeah, you dip the Dorito in the cottage cheese and you eat it.
That's got to be the worst one that I've heard so far out of anybody. That is the most. I'm not even hungry anymore. I think I want to throw up. I can't believe cottage cheese. Who eats cottage cheese when they're high? What? Cottage cheese? What is so great about cottage cheese? The worst cheese ever. It's worse than blue cheese. What is wrong with you? You brought the whole show down now.
Is everyone crying now? Yep, look, it's raining.
The sky is God's crying over that one.
God's crying.
It's like God. Cottage cheese?
Go try
Not
it.
one person is going to agree with you. There's not one person that is stoned.
Okay.
Cottage cheese?
I never own anything.
No, nothing. Nothing. Never. Ever cottage cheese. What the F? Cottage cheese. You're just messing with me.
Go home and try it today.
No.
Can we do a survey? Let's see how many people try it and how many people like it.
Cottage cheese.
We should do a stoner, a Munchie Minute cookbook. And that will be the first page. Cottage cheese and Doritos.
By the way, hi, how are you? Phil Murphy is up on the corner, up that way. Yeah. Yep. Last building on the left. You're welcome.
You're so welcome from Oregon.
I don't know.
Down to the left on it, and then take your first right.
Cottage cheese. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, can you tell me some life advice for a friend who's down? Or
Are you really going to hang up on me now?
No, will you stop with the hanging up on? Yes. Did she say something? Keep going all to the end, all the way to the end. Last building on the left. White building. White building, yep.
What do they want?
Phil Murphy's office.
Oh, you know right where that one is. Could you give us a list of all the offices that you know in there?
I really miss podcasting from the front door over here because he would have to walk past us every day that he come to work.
Why are you?
I used to love
What's
that.
the front door?
What?
You're not in the same spot that you always go?
No, they're doing construction. See, here I'll show you. They're doing construction on the State House. See all that?
Oh, right there, the front steps.
That's where we
area.
used to be. We used to be there. But you know what those assholes did? They cut down all the trees. They cut down 6 beautiful trees that they didn't have to cut down.
Why
That's the
didn't you
last
put
group.
it in your little?
Yeah, they
you
cut
didn't
one out.
put
They
it in-
cut that one over there down. Oh, and then all the ones in front of the State House, they cut
You
them
know how
down.
many people they're killing by cutting down a tree?
So
You know how much
so-
oxygen that removes from the earth?
we lost oxygen and squirrel housing.
Go tell them they are removing
They don't
oxygen.
care. They don't
They
even have a
are
wheelchair.
they
Look,
are the problem for global warming.
this is your wheelchair access to the State House.
Ew.
This is your wheelchair access. Look, a step is a wall. Look,
Ew.
New Jersey State House. You can't even get a wheelchair on the State House lawn. You think they give a shit about that? No.
No.
I wrote a letter about it. Yeah. You think they cared? You think they wrote back? No.
They put it in the round file.
They don't
You know,
give a
I
shit.
didn't know what the round file was for a long time. I'm like, the round file?
I'm gonna start calling. I'm gonna call the office of who is it? The OCS, OLS, Office of Legislative Services.
Oh.
It's
It kind of
OLS.
sounded like the OLCC, like here, Oregon Liquor Commission, something. Okay, so you want to know what my advice is?
Yes.
Okay, so don't hang up on me. This is.
Jesus.
Are you gonna hang up on me? You're gonna hang up on me. Okay. To write it down.
My hands are here. Hands are here.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I feel safe now.
You happy now?
Hands up.
Give me your hand.
Chris,
No,
no.
kidding.
It was okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I promise. Pinky swear. I won't hang up. I'm not.
Okay, so
I need you to host the show so I can get stoned. All right, there.
Okay, I'm hosting.
You have to host.
Yay! So, hi, my name is Honey Bee. Welcome to my podcast at Sativa Cross West. I would like to thank you for having Lefty on my show. Oh, and Mikey, thanks for joining Sativa Cross West's podcast. We are live here in Oregon.
Hey guys.
Mikey, I would like to ask you what your Munchie Minute is. In Oregon, we do Munchie Minute.
Wait, Mikey's not feeling well. Let me see what happened to you, man. Your mouth
Mikey.
is swollen.
Lefty, I'm hosting the show.
Yeah, my fucking tooth is swollen. I woke up. I'm fucked up. My goddamn mouth is swollen like crazy. I went and got my tooth capped last week, and ever since I got it capped, I've been having some problems. So I feel like there's an infection in the tooth underneath this tooth they capped or some shit.
Permanent cap or a temporary cap?
No, it's permanent. It's permanent, and now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't even eat. I can't even open my mouth. So I just left. I had to leave work to go to the dentist or whatever. So I'm about to go in and hope for the best. Are
you going to an
I hope it
endodontist?
goes well.
I'm just going to the dentist right now. He was able to get me in. I'm in so much pain, man.
The lady I went to was really good. She's in Madison. She's an endodontist because the same thing happened to me with an infection in my crown, and they had to remove the crown, get the infection out, and it was like a 3-month process of draining it and getting the infection out, and then putting a cap back on it.
Yeah, the dentist made it sound like it was no big deal, but like, yeah, for him, I'm the one who has to have the swelling or whatever.
Yeah,
fucking hell, man.
The one I went to was in Madison.
And I haven't really had pain in a while, like, so
Well, you're alive. Yay!
Pain out of nowhere like that, tooth pain, that just it breaks you mentally too.
Well, I'm glad that you're there, and I hope that they take care of it for you.
I'm sure he's gonna give me antibiotics or whatever, and then I'll have to go back. But whatever. At least I left work to go take care of it. That's the old me would have been like, yeah, it'll pass. But
no, you need antibiotics and pain reliever, and go get some gummies. And
I ate some gummies earlier.
Oh, that's good. You have a magical butter machine, right?
No, I don't have a machine, but I can make edibles though.
Oh, well, that's
Something. Yeah.
good.
Mikey,
I'm
when
so
was the first time you got stoned? I don't know if we asked you these questions yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to know.
First time I got stoned, I was 13 years old, and I smoked in this I smoked in the woods, which is now torn down, and they now have a park where it is, and it was like the woods next to the bank, so we used to call it the Bank Woods. It's where everybody used to go after school and like fight or whatever, you know. And I smoked there for the first time with my brother, and got super baked, and went home and just started eating chicken patties. I didn't know why. I didn't know why. Yeah, I was eating chicken patties, and I started eating them with French dressing, which I had never done before. So I just assumed, like, whatever, my taste buds are changing. I'm growing up. I'm becoming a small man. Nobody told me about munchies, because back then, you got to remember, when I'm 13 years old, that's like 1994 or something like that, 1993. You got to go to the library to get information on shit. So nobody told me about that. Nobody told me until like 10 times of getting stoned, when then I found out that munchies was a thing. And I was like, wow. And that explains the French dressing a different.
Stoners call it munchies.
I was like,
what is your favorite munchie food then?
Ice cream.
Oh, what flavor?
To be honest, I just like vanilla. Vanilla ice cream is the best stoner food. I'm like smiling thinking about it right now, and I haven't smiled all morning. So,
you know what is my favorite is the cherry dip ice cream cone from Dairy Queen.
Ooh, that sounds.
Oh, but I can't have them anymore. I have calcified arteries, and that's one of the things it said. No ice cream. So you guys be careful out there. Yeah, be careful. It goes right to the arteries. Seriously. I'm not joking. And I'm not hanging up on you, even though I'm hosting the show.
What's your life advice, Mikey?
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
my life advice is always going to be, at least for right now, it's always going to be that the most important relationship you're ever going to be in is the one with yourself. So take care of yourself. No one else is going to do it.
That's great advice. And look at you going to the doctor, taking care of yourself. You know, it's hard to go to the doctor because you
to be honest, after like the cool, like all the, you know, we had an exciting weekend and everything like that. The one dude at work, you know, he had problems with his wife. Then he wound up shooting the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody at work was saying this to me yesterday. They were like, man, you and Eaton went total different routes with all the shit you went through. He went one way, and I went a whole nother way where I just excelled. I just stayed focused, just continued to try to be the best version of myself. Now I feel like I'm in reward phase. I can't even believe my year started off rocky. I can't, you know, because I've like taken back control, and I've been having a great year. And that's just the entire opposite to the way he handled his shit, you know? So I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for that, because I really do forget how bad the year started off. And it's just been the best year. I've had the best fucking year ever, man.
Good job. I'm so happy for you. That's great to hear. You know, because things really do need to start turning around, because with COVID and everyone going inside and introverting, you know, now it's time to like blossom and come back out and, you know, bigger and better and sober.
Yeah, so that's my life advice, is that's the most important relationship, the one with yourself. So take care of yourself.
That's, you know, thank you for that, because I am working on that as well. And, you know, you are an inspiration to many people, because, you know, just seeing you loving yourself and like you taking that step of showing people your toes as a man, big kudos, dude. Big kudos. That's, you know,
yeah, I'm like,
man wants to do it too.
I'm completely confident with all of my weirdness and everything like
I
that.
love it. You just keep on
In
doing
that
it. It's great.
in that area, I'm good.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that want to do it but just are too scared. But
There's a lot of people that want to
like
smile. There's a lot of people that want to smile, and they don't even give themselves that proper chance to enjoy the happy moments in life.
Yes, and you're right. And so we need to be that smile for them as well. And I love that you display your self-love on Facebook and you show everyone, because you know what, you're an inspiration to the people that just haven't quite done it and said, oh, Mikey can do it. I'm painting my toes too and I'm gonna like it. And good for you, because you're showing other people that it's okay, even though it was always okay. But sometimes it takes that person to say, oh, that didn't look so bad.
No,
That wasn't
I
so
appreciate
bad. Good
I
job.
appreciate
I
that.
hope the dentist goes well. And
Yeah.
we'll talk to you after, and you just let us know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in because it's 1:15 and that's what time I got my appointment. So you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye. Bye.
I have to go for a manicure too.
Oh yeah.
I do. I'm
Let's
getting
see your fingers.
I'm getting a 3D scan of my hand, of my arm for the trophy that we're gonna come out with.
Oh, it didn't work?
So no, not
What
really.
happened?
It was air bubbles.
Oh.
When you put your hand in there, there was, I guess, air bubbles, and my
Oh.
couple of fingers came out weird.
Oh, because you gotta shake it.
You gotta, I guess you
gotta shake the bubbles out.
I thought I did. So I'm just gonna go to the guy who's just gonna scan it, and I'll stand there like this, and so I have to get a manicure because my mess.
Ew, oh, Lefty, gross.
They're dirty too. I'm sorry. I am working here in the dirt.
I think it's poo. I think it might be poo. I think it.
How dare you?
You told me that one time. You poked through the toilet paper.
I broke through the toilet paper again. Damn it.
I could tell.
It was one ply here at the State House. It was
Look
actually one ply.
Fingernails. Lefty, you don't have to go that far. You don't got to put two hands up there.
You don't gotta go that far. What does that mean? What? I went too far.
You're like, what? Oh, what? What?
How far do you go up? Oh my God, Howard Stern on the Howard Stern show.
Oh, I saw
this
that.
Is really gross.
Did that.
They had a guy who had what's it called? When you have too much butt sex, it's called something.
What? I don't know that.
Prolapse. He had an 18-inch prolapse. And they were talking about it. And he says, what do you like to do with it? He's like, I like to have people suck on it. Oh, that's it. I tapped out. Tapping out. That's it. I got to throw up now. I thought I'd add that to the conversation, Bat. That's what people do with their free time. It shocked me. And you know what's funny? He warned people. Howard Stern warned people. He's like, listen, I'm about to tell you something that's really disgusting. Unlike me, who just blurts it out. He warned people first before he talked about it. And he said,
you didn't believe it, huh? You're like, what?
If I warn you, turn the channel. You don't
what?
And I thought that was great. I thought I'd just put that out there.
You didn't go like this. Oh, that sounds like a fun day. Okay.
18-inch prolapse. Yeah. All right.
What?
Okay. Something like that.
18 inches? Did he do like a train for days? Train for days?
He shows it off to people. Apparently he likes to show it off and put it in. I'm not going to go there, but I'm just saying this is what I just had to add some shock jock to the story. Sorry.
Is that your one shock jock?
I'm sorry. It just came up and it was just.
So you went to my. Okay, well, next. Now.
I know I went too far. I don't even know why I brought that up.
Go back.
I don't even know what it has to do with anything.
Lefty, come back.
It's just.
You went left.
Gross.
Go right. Go right. Go the right way.
No,
choose the right.
But what I'm saying is, people suffer with a lot of different things, and I'm sure that's very painful.
They do.
I'm sure it's not nothing to be funny about, but they were making it try to be funny, but it's actually nothing to be funny about because it's actually painful.
Right.
And
You
so
know,
people have a lot of issues why they have these things. You can have Crohn's and have a prolapse. There's a
Mhm.
lot of issues that people have, and they're suffering, and
Oh
you just
yeah,
don't know what people are
I'm
going
I'm
on.
suffering right now. I could tell you what I am suffering from. I have, my torn shoulder muscle from my accident and a herniated disc in my lower back that I found out about a little over a month ago, that my last chiropractor was fixing the wrong thing. She wasn't even addressing that I had a herniated disc in my lower back. So my new chiropractor says that, I have a herniated disc, so we've been working on that. So I have been taking a daytime gummy and a nighttime gummy, and I'll show you what they are real quick here.
I learned a lot this weekend from a patient named Andrea. She knows her terps very well, and she knows that there's 3 terps that she needs to treat her illness, and the other terps basically she can go without. I never thought about that. There's actually terps that I don't want. I never thought
Yeah.
about not wanting some terps. I'm thinking, oh, the
Yeah.
more terps, the better. No, there's some terps that I probably don't want in my regimen.
Yeah, because some of them cause you anxiety.
I never thought about any of that, really. I'm just like, oh, the
Mhm.
terps, more terps. No. Certain
You know
ones work
what?
for you, certain issues. Like I have back pain. I have neuropathic pain. What are the best terps for that?
Yeah.
That's what I need.
I've been doing indica hybrid, and that is really helping me a lot. Like, so this is one of my pre-rolls. Look, it's a cute little backpack. I can show you all kinds of really cool pre-rolls. But what I'm taking right now is, this is my daytime. It's a gummy, and it has one CBD one and 4 THC. So that is both CBD and THC. So that's my daytime gummy, and it's like $4 for me for. It has 100 milligrams, 100 milligram gummy, but I take 50 milligrams at a time, and then I take one for night. And so this is how big the gummy is. And I take half that for nighttime, and that one has 2 CBD and 1 THC. So the CBD is really doing something powerful in the nighttime one. So, that's interesting. I'm so excited to learn about all these things. I try to get a job at the dispensary across the street. Don't you guys wish you had dispensaries like we do? We have
No,
dispensaries like 7-Elevens.
no, I'm black market, 100% black market. Sorry,
You're racist?
I'm racist against the dispensaries. Yes, I'm just dispensaryist. I'm a dispensarist.
A dispensarist?
I don't know, whatever that word is. So here it's raining again. It's pouring.
All
And we're
right.
just
So can
chilling
I
out.
talk about my next project? Do you guys is that okay?
Nope.
Can I just tell you my little speech? So, what I'm doing here in Oregon is I am hosting a children's business fair, and they probably have that in New
I love
York.
this idea. This is like the greatest idea ever. You're actually getting children involved to find what they like to do in life and
Yeah.
to be entrepreneurs. For children to be entrepreneurs.
Yes.
That is the coolest thing ever. I really like this idea, and I'm fully supporting this.
Thank you. So I am bringing the first annual children's business fair to Portland, Oregon. And what that includes is I'm going to help young entrepreneurs create a brand, create a product or a service, create a marketing strategy, and also teach them how to work with money at this one-day marketplace where it's safe and secure, and it's not going to be just like the adult one where it's not safe for children to be selling their product or service. So I'm going to be bringing that to Portland, Oregon here in the next few months. I just passed my background test a couple weeks ago. So now I'm working on the actual place that I'm going to have it, because it's going to be so big that I'm going to have to turn away children. I haven't even advertised it, and I already have one application that has gone through my website. I will post the correct link. I posted it on my Facebook, Lefty. I don't know if you I didn't get very many people to click on it. So I think it just, I don't know. It wasn't a good clicker ad. So I'm going to go and read and change that. But Lefty, if you think about it sometime, go click on that, see if it works. I have the website on my Facebook page. It's Acton Children's Business Fair in Portland, Oregon. If you want to do a Google search, my website is, I don't have it right now because I didn't plan on talking about it, but I will have that all posted. So I'm planning on having it in December in Oregon, for the fact that it's going to be right before the holidays, and that the children could probably get, well, not probably, let me just take that word out. So the children can have their best uh time to sell products for a holiday that's coming up, so correlate that with a holiday. So the founders started this in 2007, and they wanted to spark this sense of wonder and young entrepreneurship in their children and their children's friends. So they started their first marketplace in 2007, and it was just a small little marketplace with just their kids and the neighborhood and the neighborhood friends. So it wasn't very big, but now it's grown to over 5,000 young entrepreneurs and just countless attendees. And it's happening nationwide, all over. Different places are having it. I'm surprised I haven't heard about it in Oregon yet, but I'm the one that's going to bring it to Oregon, and I am so excited because this is the next step I needed to be able to start my businesses and be able to be a success, because I'm going to be around like-minded people who are ready, owning successful businesses, and are wanting to teach and this is a way to teach our children something new, because we need to help our children. So not only am I going to help the children by hosting this fair and giving children tools to help them be better, productive people of society, I'm going to help the homeless children. I am on a mission to help the homeless children, and any way that I can. I'm in the process of thinking of how I could give back to somebody and let them know that they were thought of. I was thinking like a pillow, or I didn't want to give them a rock, but people give gratitude rocks, or a bracelet. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of something that lets people, that I could give out, that lets people know that they were thought of and that they're not alone. Because you know what? People think that they're alone, and then they do horrible things because they think they're alone. And it's just a bad ripple effect. So if we can go and let people know that other people are thinking about them and fighting for them, that maybe they will fight for themselves a little more. So if we tell them that we're fighting for them, then they'll fight for themselves, because we need to have strong people, and we need to have strong kids, because our children are the future, and we need to help them. We need to help the children so that we can have a better future for everyone. And so please go share, subscribe to Honeybee Thomas and Sativa Cross West. Sativa Cross West in Oregon. Lots of great things are happening out here. I am going to our state house in Salem with Paul Stanford. And Paul Stanford, you can Google him. He does all kinds of great things for cannabis and hemp. He was one of the first people that brought it to the United States. And he is just an amazing person, goes all over the world to talk about cannabis and how he has helped the cannabis industry and what he continues to do. And he has his TV show every Friday. Hi, Lefty. Do you want me to keep on going? See, I'm so excited to host my own show. Thanks for showing up. Yes. I can't hear you. Nope, I can't hear you.
Thank you.
Now I can hear you. What?
I'd like to thank our sponsors, cmmnj.org. That's the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey. We just spent the whole weekend together with them.
Oh, yeah. How was that? I tried to call you, and you must have been really busy.
You could see it. You could watch the whole weekend on video. Spongholio in that costume for like 9 hours one day. 9 hours he did in that thing. I don't know how he did it.
Oh, wow.
No
no wonder why he has a toothache. It
no
all like
wonder.
squished.
His whole body's probably aching.
Poor Mikey. Everyone pray for Mikey. Send him good vibes. He's a good guy.
Yes. So, Canasense.com, United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 152, JacksonStorms.com, Smoking Monkey, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, Pure Puff Lifestyle Shop, SativaCross.org. You can donate so we can get our ramps. You can donate so we can get
gas money.
We need some help. So if you want to give us some help, go to sativacross.org and you can donate there, tax deductible.
And then watch me at Sativa Cross West all over social media. Honeybee Thomas. I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Cheryl Miller, Sabina Rose, Diane, Gracie, Cindy May, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Patty, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armanda, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Marine Vet, Sean McKay, Joyce.
This is really long.
Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jay, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, and Red Blazer is not on my list here. Red Blazer needs to be on my list.
Who's that?
That's who's missing. Our friend from up north. I'm going to add him right now. I'm just going to add him right now. Dead air. I'm just going to do this. I don't care.
You know, this list is so long and it's so heartbreaking. And this is what keeps us going every week, you know? Someone has to be doing this. Who else is going to do this? It doesn't matter. But we're doing this and we're going to keep on coming back. And, you know, we're going to give. And I hope that you can receive. And please like and share us. We need all the help that you can give us. You know, sativacross.org needs money. Lefty needs gas money to get to the places he goes to. He needs products so he can spread the word about sativacross.org. We need money for steps because the money that you guys donate goes right back out to the patients.
Money for steps? Did you say money for steps?
Yes. Money for steps.
That's the opposite of what we want.
You don't want money for steps? Oh,
no.
Money for ramps. Oh my. Okay, I think
I know what you meant, but no.
No,
we don't like steps. Steps are the problem.
Like, yeah, money for steps.
We hate steps.
No.
We hate stamp out steps. No steps. No more steps.
I really like that. Cut the curb.
Cut the curbs. Look at this shit. This is your wheelchair access here at the State House. Look at this shit. Here's your wheelchair access. Yeah, congratulations. No F's given. No F's given at the State House. Look at that. Yeah, good job. Look at that step.
No more
It's a long ass step.
Money
And
for
it's
no
just to keep
steps.
people out. It just keeps people out. That's all it does. Keeps people in
Oh,
wheelchairs
boy.
out. Keep your wheelchairs home, dear.
All right.
See y'all later. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds on counted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning,
We will remember them. We will remember them.
we will remember.
Thanks, guys. See